The government is planning to bring amendments to the RTI Bill. What do the proposed changes mean?
The most dangerous thing is that these amendments will undermine the independence and authority of the Information Commission and really reduce it to the level of a department of the Government of India. If for people who listen, it is the difference between an independent authority with full independence and the right to critique a government, and those working within the ambit of government have to listen to the unwritten statements and the political will of the bosses. So if the independence of all these institutions are whittled down by the government, then democratic institutions created to maintain a check and a balance according to the constitution of this country and to ensure that rights are delivered will be nullified.
Okay. So do you think that these proposed changes will destroy the RTI Act completely?
I think they will, in fact, destroy the RTI Act completely, because if we go back to what happened when the law was under review and, in a sense, look at the what was being said by the then chair of the selection committee, Mr. Nachiappan, he says actually that the commission is the nerve center of the law and to ensure and guarantee that the law is actually delivered to people. And he said that if this independence and this authority is not maintained, actually the law will suffer and it may as well not be given to the people at all. We've gone so far as to say that. So I really do think that if they go in with the proposed changes, it's a very peculiar thing. That it looks pretty harmless, but it is not. It's actually cutting one of the nerve centers to the independence of an authority which is supposed to look at both corruption and arbitrary use of power.
Okay. So if these changes come into effect, that is, will they interfere with the RTI activists' freedom to make independent decisions?
Yes, absolutely. For the first time in independent India, the people of this country have gained the right through the RTI to be a part of the process of democratic governance and governance. Unless you know what's happening inside the government, you can't monitor it. So we've now got the right to understand how our sovereignty is being used or misused. We have the right to know which individual is taking a decision and why. It's a window into the functioning of government in our name. So the fear of every government is that they will be monitored by notions of justice and equality. And in fact, because of the rising numbers of people using the law, with the 70 lakh people now using the law every year, every window is now being pried open to see how it functions from top to bottom. And the top, of course, gets hurt the most because it has the most power.
Ma'am, we know that RTI is one of the most important tools for citizens of the country. Why do you think that the government is proposing these changes?
See, as I said before, it is looking for the first time, every transaction is being looked at. Before, they chose what they wanted to show us. Now we have the right to decide what we want to see. And in the process of seeing these things, as I mentioned before, the 60 to 70 lakh users are really looking at multiple things, and in the choice lies with the citizen and not with the state. So at many intersections, at many points, the citizen and the state are now in a more equal status, a growingly equal status, and the citizen can claim that he has the right to see and the right to object, and therefore the right to decide. The government is held accountable if it's wrong, and it becomes liable one way or the other. So there are a million sets of eyes looking into the system to monitor whether it's doing right or wrong. So the law has become a huge worry for all those who are corrupt and who misuse power in government. So any decent democracy will promote it. Any democracy that is corrupt and arbitrary will not promote the RTI law.
Ma'am, if these proposed changes come into effect, what will be the next step of the commission and the activists?
Well, I don't know what the commission will do, but definitely the activists have been on agitation. Now the bill has been deferred. That's what we got to know yesterday. But that is not for us enough. They must withdraw the bill. So we'll agitate all over the country, and many kinds of processes of public protest have already begun. And finally, we have the recourse to the vote, that any government that goes against the RTI will never receive the mandate of its people. Mm-hmm. And any government which threatens the RTI will become an unpopular government, as it would be seen to be blatantly standing up for corruption and the arbitrary use of power.
Mm-hmm.